Everything that is rocking, Laser 103.3. Rusty Wallace, how are you?
Hey, doing great. Glad to be in the house this morning.
Yeah.
Love coming to you guys' show. It's kind of fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I like the pictures on your walls.
We
the girls.
We're supposed to be getting a Sharknado poster. Have you heard of Sharknado?
No.
You haven't seen this on Sci-Fi? It's about a tornado that sucks up sharks out of the ocean, and it dumps them all over Los Angeles. And S hits the fan, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason, it was a huge thing about 3 weeks ago.
It's a very highbrow type of movie.
I'm supposed to know all that, aren't I?
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Oh, I'll get you a copy.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Sharks, to suck the sharks out of the ocean and drop them on people, right?
Yeah, well, we're friends with the director, so we're
connected. There's a lot of cats out there that need to be ate up. There's no doubt about
that. We know a big-time Hollywood director, Anthony Ferrante. Maybe you've heard of him.
That is a big name.
As he rolls his eyes. What's the biggest name in your cell phone? Like, who's the biggest celebrity you know?
Biggest celebrity I know. Oh, let me think. Willie Nelson.
You know Willie?
Yeah. I know
How
Willie
cool is
good,
that?
Yeah.
You've been on the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't been on the bus while Willie's been back there smoking all that pot and stuff. And I haven't been back there, for that. But I saw him out in Texas a couple of years ago, I guess. And he's a really cool guy, really nice fellow. He was good to me, at least.
That would have to be on my bucket list, smoking weed with Willie on the bus. I mean, I'm not a big ganja freak, but I'll partake once in a while. But smoking some dope with Willie Nelson, because he only gets the best stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he probably gets the best tequila. He probably gets all sorts of free booze. It'd be a good time party on that bus.
We were out there, actually, when I saw him last, right there, we were talking about alternative fuel of all things. And he was talking about pumping up he was really behind turning things into what do you call it?
Renewable energy?
Yeah, renewable energy and diesel fuel and stuff like that. He really pushes that big time out there in Texas. And I was in there doing a deal for a guy, and he was there doing the same thing. And we met and talked, and it was good.
Yeah. So you have Willie Nelson's number in your phone?
I don't know if it works any longer, but I got it in there.
Let's call him.
Call him up, check it out.
Let's call him.
That'll make him mad, man. We don't do that.
Does Willie Nelson get mad?
I don't think he could. I don't think the guy's got a mean bone in his body, but
it's not possible.
I don't think we better do it
on
radio here in Iowa.
Yeah, I know, but I pictured, does Willie Nelson ever have that moment where he's like, "Son of a bitch! I can't believe they did that!" Like, does he get that mad? But anyway, the big news, of course, U.S. Cellular 250 at the Iowa Speedway, which is going on this weekend. That's always a huge race around here.
That's our big race of the year.
Yeah.
That's our very biggest one. In fact, this race that's happening this weekend was our inaugural NASCAR Nationwide Series race, and I remember that day we had 55,000 people there. It was unreal. The place was so electric. Music's playing, Saturday night race, whole place is pumped up, the place is rocking. It was unreal. So we're about 1,000 tickets now from being totally sold out. So we're really close to having that same thing again.
That was my first race last year.
Did you like it?
Yeah. It got a little spread out towards the end of the race, but that whole day in that facility, it's awesome.
Yeah, but did you remember that race when Ricky Stenhouse, who's won a couple there, was leading the race, and his engine blew up coming off of turn 4, and his teammate Carl Edwards crashed him in the back? You remember what? It was unreal. We just watched it on a TV show this morning where the kid's coming off of turn 4. He's got it won, and all of a sudden, off turn 4, the whole engine blows up, smoke everywhere, and Carl Edwards, his teammate, is behind him, and he can't see in the smoke, and just runs right through the back of him and completely destroys two cars right there at the start-finish line. Stenhouse slides across the racetrack sideways and wins the race. I look up there, the place was going nuts. People couldn't believe it, but I couldn't believe it either.
Those are the best finishes. Like, my favorite one ever was the Daytona 500 when Clint Boyer finished on his roof in the Jack Daniels car.
I thought you were going to say your favorite was back a long time ago, 1993, when I went 25 times end over end at Talladega, Alabama. Remember that one?
Yeah, a young Rusty Wallace.
Go get some time. Go to YouTube.com and pick up Rusty Wallace Talladega wreck and watch that baby.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, What's it like being in a wreck like that?
That one there knocked my lights out. When I crashed, I remember the car was about 30 foot in the sky, and it was coming out of the sky, nose down. And when it come out of the atmosphere and went down and hit the ground, it broke my wrist off and knocked me out. And what was crazy, though, is
Lord, I am flying through
when I came to, all I heard was thump, thump, thump. I'm going, what is that? And they said, hey, man, you're in a helicopter. I was in a helicopter on the way to the hospital. That was a big wreck.
As he well knows, I've had a couple of those injuries where it's like, what? Who's the president? What? Why are you asking me that?
Where am I at?
You hit your head pretty good, buddy. Let's see. Rusty Wallace crash. There it is. Rusty Wallace Talladega crash. Wow. Is that I'm sorry. How soon after that did you retire?
No. Yeah, I made it clear to 2005 at the end of '05 before I decided to hang the hat up. But that was a big old wreck, man. I mean, that thing end over end about 25 times. The body flew off that car. The motor flew out of that car.
You know what the best part
nuts.
about that is? When you do the search and you start typing in Rusty Wallace, it automatically comes up with that as the first one.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Yeah.
That is.
I'm on the other side of the studio here, so
Yeah,
I can't see it. But
Rusty can't see
you
it.
see
You lived it.
flipping
What do you need to see it for?
I know it.
Did you watch that?
The video runs for about 2 laps before the wreck happened,
Yeah.
so it got a little bit too much trailer on it. But
Did you watch that video afterwards and go, how did I survive that?
I watched it in the hospital. I was in Birmingham, Alabama, waking up there, and I said, what just happened? I said, man, you were in a bad wreck, big wreck. And I looked at that thing, and I said, man, I can't believe I'm alive.
Is that one that stays with you for a few days, weeks after?
Tell you what happened.
Maybe
That
you
one-
wake up in the middle of the night.
Well, that one there, that same year, I had a big wreck at Daytona, and that baby went upside down about 15 times. And I got out of it without a bruise, and I was just mad as a hornet because me and the cat that got in the wreck, I was mad at him. So then, here it is, 4 races later, I go to Talladega, and this time, this is the worst wreck of my life, and I keep thinking, wait a minute, man, does that mean that every time these cars get sideways and the right side of the car hits the air, that they're going to go up like an airplane and start flipping? And the guy says, yeah. I said, we got to do something about this. And that's when NASCAR took that particular wreck, and because of that wreck, they developed the roof flap. Now they got
Okay.
those roof flaps that pop up.
Yeah.
It was because of that wreck.
Really?
And now when these things spin, they just stay on the ground most of the time.
And just a little flap is all it needed.
What it needed was some type of thing that pops up that detaches the air from the curvatures of the car. Okay,
Physics,
The-
science,
yeah, all
brain
that stuff.
hurting.
Numbers to stop lift. Same with an airplane.
Yeah.
Air goes over a wing, which is kind of rounded,
Just
and
need
that
more
causes
flaps
lift.
or let.
Well,
Yeah.
and you're a pilot. How about this? How about some of the cars get fitted with ailerons and maybe a little tiny jet engine so that if you do find yourself getting up in the air, just pull a switch and poof, up
If
in the air.
If they let me do what I want to on a car, we could do stuff like that.
What do you want to do in a car?
I got these rules. I think I need a secret afterburner that nobody else has got.
Rusty Wallace doesn't play by the rules, and sometimes he doesn't even play by his own rules.
I want it so, like, when you're getting behind, you can hit a button and the license plate cover kicks down, a little jet motor comes out, and that baby's...
Poor Kurt Busch got blown up.
that sucker takes off then. That'd be cool.
You know, NASCAR rating's good with that idea. Ba-boom.
Better.
Oh, God. It'd be the Rusty Wallace Racing
You
League.
only get to use afterburner one time during the race. You got a limit.
Oh, how cool would that be? You bring in a whole new audience.
Yeah, so one time, it's kind of like Indy cars. Indy cars got all these computers, and they got this thing push the pass, so they can hit a button. I think they're limited like 10 times or something. They can hit a button that gives them another 100 horsepower.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool? NASCAR doesn't have that.
Why not?
That should not only be in NASCAR, that should be in regular cars.
That should be.
Like
It's kind of like passing gear. You just mash the gas real quick, and the old car goes, and takes off. You
Yeah,
know?
you gotta go around that old bitty driving.
We don't
real
have
slow.
that in NASCAR. We just got, these cars make about 900 horsepower. They're chugging away, doing all they can, but those things are still running over 200 miles an hour.
I say smoke screens, oil slicks.
Why not?
The thing that
Batman
comes-
had it.
Yeah.
The Gatling gun that comes out of the hubcaps.
Oh, you imagine Rusty Wallace.
I think
with
we
a
might have
Gatling
gone
gun.
off.
That's
gone
what
off the rails
Ricky
here a little bit.
Stenhouse had at Iowa Speedway last time, like a smoke machine, and the whole car will crash him in the back. But back on track a little bit. It's going to be a heck of a race. We're about
It will be,
1,000
yeah.
being sold out. Friday night's a huge race. It's the K&N Series race. That's for all the up and younger coming drivers, and those guys get crazy out there. They're really, really aggressive.
No,
that's Friday night.
It's in all seriousness, it's a really great race, and I'm not a big NASCAR guy, and I had a blast when I went out to it, especially if you do the tailgating stuff.
Yeah.
Is Brad Kozlowski still going to be there?
Yeah, Brad Keselowski will be there. He's coming in from Pocono. Travis Pastrana's going to be there, X-Game star.
Wow.
Sam Hornish, who won the Indy 500, he's there. And Austin Dillon, who's driving that familiar black number 3 that Dale Earnhardt Sr. made so popular. He's going to be in there. He's leading the points. Took over the points lead last week at
Interesting.
Indianapolis, yeah.
It's interesting it went that way because, like, the kind of voodoo weird ghost thing in me says, like, I don't know if I want that car, if I'm a driver, but it's working out for
Well, it's
him.
a green car you don't want, isn't it?
You know what? That's a good question. Green's usually bad luck. The number 13's bad luck. Walking under a ladder's bad
Yeah.
luck. Seeing peanuts is bad luck. Or a tails up penny is really bad.
Wait, seeing peanuts?
Peanuts, yeah, it's bad.
I
man.
thought you were going down an Anthony
No,
Weiner
peanuts
joke
around
or
a race
something.
car is bad. Okay, you want to know what the very worst thing in the world for a NASCAR driver is for bad luck?
Yeah.
Is a $50 bill.
Really?
A $50 bill is the most dangerous thing in the world. I took a $50 bill one time and I taped it to the roof of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s car. He got in a car trying to mess with him. He got in a car. He looked up and saw that. He jumped out of that car like there was a snake in that car. I mean, he was so mad he couldn't see. Who put this in there? He said, Wallace did it. I was trying to intimidate him, and it worked because I won the title that year against him.
Nice.
And I'm sure he had words with you.
Oh, he did. He was mad. I mean, so anybody listening to this, they think $50 is $50, but not in racing's term.
So
not
what about now? If I gave you $50 for whatever reason, would you
I'd throw it right back at
would
you.
you really?
I'd refuse it. I wouldn't take it. Or at least I'd say, go get the 220s and a 10 or come back.
That's fine, yeah. Wow, that's
fine.
interesting.
You have $50?
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Real quick, we got to wrap it up, but where's that come from?
Back in the day in NASCAR.
Just one of those...
David Pearson, Richard Petty, guys like that had bad experiences with him and blamed him on that, and it just went right down through NASCAR. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. Wildfire.
Rusty Wallace, as always, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're always welcome. You're
We
flying
appreciate
by,
it.
you stop in, you come in, say hi.
If you don't mind going to iowaspeedway.com, checking out what's going on, got our schedule out there, or go to 1-866-RUSTY-GO for tickets, man. We appreciate the crowd. Like I said, about 1,000 before we sold out. And we want everybody to show up because we really want to rock that house. It's a Saturday night race, live on ESPN. We're going to show all those full grandstands, get everybody jacked up.
And I got some tickets to give away, a couple pair actually, 244-1033. Just call now and we'll hook you up. Rusty, as always, thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that.